Hello, good morning. How you doing? This Sal Stretford Post. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the live watch-along between Switzerland and Algeria in the World Cup last 32, guys. No more Croatia. They're out of the World Cup, courtesy of the GOAT, the real GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo, scoring another goal in the World Cup. Absolutely unstoppable, guys. But we're here for Switzerland and Algeria, guys. Thank you, everyone who's joined me this morning. I love it. It's good. It's good to be back. Happy Friday to everyone. It's Friday again. Yes, it is. And we're here to watch this game, of course, guys. Interesting game. Very interesting game, indeed. Now, let's get to the lineups real quick. Let me just skim and scam, as they say, through the lineups, if you don't mind. Let's look at, obviously, Switzerland. Just a few notable names there. We've got Akanji and Elverdi, Zakaria, Rodriguez as the back four, guys. We've got Cobo and goal. Rodriguez, of course, a very experienced Switzerland player currently playing for Real Betis in Spain. Of course, guys, we need to have a look at for Manzambi, of course, guys. Johan Manzambi, Freiburg, Man United being linked to him, of course, attacking midfielder, stroke midfielder there. Look, good to have a little peek of him, of course, guys. Of course, never mind, obviously, Dan Indoy of Nottingham Forest who there, and of course Vargas, who currently plays for Sevilla in Spain. So a decent. We also got Xhaka, of course, wanted by various clubs, including Chelsea in the Premier League. We got him playing today, of course, absolutely. But one thing I would say about Algeria, when I'm going to look at Algeria, I look at their attack. They got an amazing attack. They got Oya, Mazza, and Chaibi. They need to utilize this well because they've got a lot of talent there. Chaibi's one player I like, 23-year-old Frankfurt player. I like him. Mazza is my favorite player. Bayer Leverkusen, 20-year-old. Man United should be looking at him. Honestly, I'm telling you, I've been saying it since the AFCON. They need to look at him. And guys, and Oya of Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia with obviously the legend that is Riyad Mahrez. Up front, of course, guys, Zarouki, the fine-old midfielder, and Ben Talab, of course, who plays for Lille, been around the block a little bit. Ait Nouri of Man City, Ben Sebaini of Dortmund, Mandy of Lille, and Bagali of Verona in Italy with Zidane. Zidane needs to do a lot better today. That's one thing about it. He's 28 years old. He's not young. Granada player. Zidane, which is Zinedine Zidane's son, not at the best tournament, letting a lot of silly goals, to be honest with you. Here's the substitutions, guys, just to go through them. Anyone notable when we look at their lineup? No one really notable. But, yeah, those are the two lineups, guys, there. In regards to this knockout, who wins? What happens in regards to this? Well, if Algeria win, they'll play the winner of Austria and Egypt. Someone needs to look at these scheduling. They really do, because some of the games, mate, honestly, Algeria, Austria, Egypt, I mean, come on, guys. Like, there's so many good teams. We've got Portugal and Spain in the last 16. That's a semi-final. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It is. But here we go, guys. We're ready to go. Football is coming home for Algeria, is it? Or is it coming home for Switzerland? I'm going for a win for Algeria by 2-1. That's what I'm going for. Get your scores in, guys. I hope you're well. Hope everyone is all blessed today, of course, guys. Get your scores in and let's get this on, guys. I hope everyone is good. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Max, good man. Thank you so much, my friend. Good to see you. Big up, Max. Big up, Last Gun Standard. Big up, hello. What drama in Portugal is crazy? Unlucky Croatia. What do you think of it? Was it offside? Now, guys, I want to ask you this question about the offside rule. You can get discriminated against if you have a big foot. So how's it fair? If you're size 10 instead of a size 8, you could be offside. That doesn't really make sense, does it? Or if you have a puffier haircut. If you have a puffier haircut, it'd be offside. So basically, if you had a skinhead, it wouldn't have been offside. So I don't understand. Where do you draw the line, guys? Where do you draw the line? That's the question. That's the $1 million question that I want to ask, of course. Here come Algeria already on the attack, guys. That's the $1 million question that I want to ask, of course. Big up everyone in the stream. My prediction is 2-1 to Algeria. That's my prediction. But this Swiss team, I'll be honest, guys, this Swiss team are quite good. They got some good up-and-coming players. And obviously, I rate Embolo. Embolo, I rate him. I spoke about him yesterday. I think he's a very underrated striker. I really do. I think he would be good as a backup striker. We got Manzambi, of course, the player that, you know, we're all looking at. Good player as well, absolutely. But yeah, guys, it should be an interesting game. One thing I would say about Algeria and obviously teams like Algeria, it's the mentality. It's the belief and the mentality system that they have. They have to believe that they can do it, and they have to not be erratic, because sometimes they can be erratic, they can be careless, and they just need to work and play as a team. In my opinion, that's what they need to do, guys. And I would say that it's tricky, but Rachel have been given that offside lifeline against Colombia, so it is tricky. It is so tricky. You can't have anything 100% in football. This is the thing. I mean, even if you do a space in between the offside, even if you have a clear daylight between the two players, you can't have it 100%, because where do you draw the line? Because at the end of the day, when is it a clear space between players and stuff? You can't do it. It's just one of those rules that just such a gray area. It's really difficult to get the right thing. I say, in my opinion, if you have to look at it and look at it and look at it, it's not offside. That's it. This is how it should be in everything. It's a bit like the penalty against Senegal the other day. If you have to look at it, you look at it and look at it, and you're taking time, and you still can't make your mind up, this is how it should be. If you have to take more than a minute to make your decision, it's nothing. That's how it should be, because then it's not clear and obvious. Everything in football should be clear and obvious. That should be the key thing here. Clear and obvious. That's it. I've said this for ages. Clear and obvious. It shouldn't be just, by every little minute. And then we just have to get robots. And that's what I said. If you have a bigger foot, it's offside. If you have a smaller foot, it's not offside. How's that fair? And that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So that's what I would say. But in all, glad Spain against Portugal in the next round, guys. Yeah, I think Spain would do them, man. I watched Spain yesterday. Spain are just so efficient. Roberto Martinez is a fraud. I've said this from the beginning, guys. Roberto Martinez should not be managing in top-level football. He's an absolute fraud. I don't know who he sold his soul to, but he gets every single job. Good job as well. Belgium and now Portugal. This guy is, I don't know where he gets it from. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Ball book has to be, it just needs to be clear and obvious. If the VAR goes into it and they have to look at it for more than a minute, that's it. It's not offside. It's not clear and obvious, because obviously you have to keep looking at it. Do you know what I mean? So I would say no. I think just do clear and obvious. Stop making it, so bloody complicated. And that's it, or scrap offside. Clearance there. Good start from Algeria here, guys. Very good start from Algeria. Impressed. They're pushing forward here. Algeria got a throw in on the near side. Guys, look, I really like a couple of them players and stuff. Hi, Sal. What's going on, Neeson? How you doing? Hi, Sal. What a game of game Portugal. Yeah, big up Portugal, and congratulations to Portugal, by the way. So there you go, guys. A GOAT has done it again, guys. Don't tell me. What did you see? That goal was disallowed as well. What a touch, what a finish, but it was disallowed. Wow. You see? Know what I mean? Not a stat padder. But let me just say something in defense of England, right? Because I know a lot of people want to throw the rule book and want to throw the gauntlet at England. Here's a chance for Algeria. Oh, he missed it. Everyone wants to throw the rule book at England. England slapped up Croatia, right? There you go, guys. Absolutely, there you go. And they should have drew against Portugal yesterday. However, I do think that Roberto Martinez is a fraud. He's a fraud. I think Spain will do them. I don't want Spain to do them. I'll be honest. I love Spain. But, I don't want Spain to do Portugal. Portugal my second choice. They're my second choice. If anyone wants to win the World Cup, it would be Portugal. Yeah? I think they deserve it. I think they absolutely deserve it. Absolutely, guys. I think they should. Yo, what's up, Inconsistent? Tino, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well, my friend. Last time, it's like the Balogun red. It isn't a clear and obvious, but you look at it, well, it's less of a red than the Messi one, wasn't it? The Messi one was malicious. I mean, Messi knew what he was doing. He stepped on the Algerian player earlier on in the tournament, and that should have been a red card, shouldn't it? It's common sense. We lack the ability of common sense. That's it. That's what's being taken away from football. The human side of it is being taken away. And it's not VAR. It's the people running VAR. You can have a Ferrari, but if you get your grandma to drive Ferrari, she's not going to drive it very well, is she? At the end of the day, it is to do with, the people running the system, the people running the electronics are just not competent, mate. There's 3 of them in that room. You know what I mean? Just 3 of them in that room, and they can't get a right decision. Look, I said it, guys. The Senegal one wasn't a penalty. They took too long to watch it. If they had to take so long, you're going to like, guys. Look, if you look at something again and again and again, you can make it out to be something. If you keep looking at it, just go with your instinct. Oh, that looked like the Algerian player, the Algerian striker's on the floor. There, he's not going to give a red card right now, is he? At the end of the day, yeah, like, you know, sadly I couldn't do the watch along for the Portugal game. It was way too late for me. I'm going to be missing a few games over this next couple of days, guys. I'm going to be going to Italy tomorrow, so I'll be broadcasting live from Naples on Sunday. I'll be in Napoli on Sunday, so I'm in Italy on Sunday, and I'll be doing the watch alongs for the rest of the games. Obviously, I'm going to miss a couple of the last 16, sadly, but it is what it is. I'm doing this like, you know what I mean, 40-something watch along, to be honest with you. You frauds are starting watch alongs now. You know, you see those guys who are starting to do the watch alongs now. You absolute frauds. You guys, right? You guys, listen, we've been here from the beginning. Do not start this nonsense where you're starting to do the watch along because it's popular and it get you likes and clicks. You absolute frauds. Absolutely. That penalty for Belgium was a joke, and the Senegalese player is already on the floor focusing. Yeah, exactly that. Common sense, isn't it, bro? Common sense. That's what football should be. It should be all about common sense and using your brain. That's what the referees, they're lacking the brain capacity. If you have to look at it for more than 5, but how long did he look at it? 5 minutes? If you have to look at it for more than a minute and you still can't make your decision, you're a professional referee, you've been in the game for a long time, you're qualified. If you have to look at it for more than 1 minute and can't make your decision, it's not a penalty. It's as simple as that. Senegal were robbed. Obviously, I have my feelings about Senegal. I felt Senegal bottled it. I felt Senegal, when it was 2-0, 3 minutes to go, Senegal should just shut up shop and waste time and play the dark arts of football. I think that's what's wrong with them, you know, and they should have went through. They were a better team than Belgium. I've been incredibly disappointed with Belgium. I think they will get knocked out as soon as they get anyone decent. You know, Belgium are one of the most overhyped football nations ever. Remember, they were ranked number 1 for many years for whatever reason, right? Number 1, they were ranked, and God knows only. It's a bit like their manager, overhyped, you know, as well. They had Roberto Martinez as well, another one. Do you know what I mean? They had Roberto Martinez. Now, unfortunately for Portugal, they got Roberto Martinez. Now, let me tell you a story about Roberto Martinez, right? Roberto Martinez used to host a show called Revista de la Liga in England. It was basically a highlight show for Spanish football, La Liga. And he used to be one of the presenters, right? And obviously, Roberto Martinez played in England. So he used to, obviously, they got his expert opinion on Spanish football. And I used to think this guy is a really nice guy. You know what I mean? I used to think, look at him. He's a nice guy. He speaks like very well. He's nice. But there are some people out there who are good at talking, but not good at implementing, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Not good at putting the team together. Here comes Switzerland. Chance for Switzerland. Goal! Already for Switzerland, and it's the number 7 who has scored, guys. It's the number 7 who has scored for Switzerland. Switzerland has scored already. It is Mbolo. And I said about Mbolo before the show, it's like they haven't listened to me, guys. But Mbolo has scored for Swiss. There you go, guys. Goal for Switzerland. Weak defending from Algeria, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Weak defending from Algeria. The Swiss have taken a lead already in this game. It's 1-0 to them. And Algeria were at 6s and 7s at the back, guys. Really, really poor finish. Defending, should I say. Mbolo again. I told you about Mbolo. I think he's underrated, guys. I think we should get him as a backup striker. Nice and cheap and cheerful. What the Glazers love, isn't it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up, everyone. Inconsistentino, did Senegal players that not have been paid yet for their regular season, including the manager? He's playing for free. That's why he gave up. You should never give up. Win first, give up. You're doing it for your country, mate. You're fighting for your country. I play for my country for free. Fuck that. I play for my country for free. Win, then complain. Win, then complain. I'll play for my country for free. I would. If England came up to me and said, Sal, we need you. We need you at right back, bro. We got no right backs. I'll say, come on then, bring me on. I used to be a right back, by the way. If they need me, I'm there. I know I'm a little bit past it, but yeah, I'll play for free. No excuses, man. Money shouldn't be like football. It's about your passion for your country. It's about, you know, that's what the World Cup is at the end of the day, you know. Goal for Switzerland anyway. It's 1-0 to Switzerland. Algeria defending like they do every single bloody tournament, like a fish. Absolutely, really no spine at all. You know what I mean? An eel, no spine at all. They got good attackers, but their spine is just weak. I watched them in the African nations, guys, and they were absolutely good. But Mbolo, like I said last night, I was talking about Mbolo. I don't know how Mbolo got into the conversation, but I was talking about him. I said, you know, Austria, they need a player like Mbolo. I said this yesterday, right? I said they need a player like Mbolo so they can, like, you know, at least have that outlet. Because as you know, with Harry Kane and these type of players, you could have a relatively not a functional team. I'm not saying you have poor players, but a dysfunctional team. If you got a world-class striker, anything is possible. Anything is possible. If you got a world-class striker, anything is possible. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, big up Max. Kenny, great finishing, Bolo. Absolutely. Hassan, what's going on, brother? Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. 2-1 to Switzerland, my prediction. Big up, my bro. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Alex, the problem with our team is we're run by greedy prats in suits. Yeah, corporate people killing it. That's a bit like Man United, Alex, isn't it? Run by greedy prats in suits. And that's what it is. And then we got prats in the fan base who defend them every 5 minutes. And that's... guys, it's honestly, I feel like I'm some parallel universe with this Man United fan base. Honestly, oh, you got to feel sorry for them because at the end of the day, it's too much money. I mean, I'm hearing people saying, you know what? I'm glad we passed on Fernandes and Tonali. I'm happy that, you know, we didn't get held to ransom. Bro, I mean, 250 grand a week. We're paying Mason Mount 250 grand a week for being a bloody PR guy in the catalogue. You know what I mean? And do TikTok dances and things like that. I don't want to hear about how much we didn't pay Fernandes and Tonali and how happy you are when we're paying Luke Shaw for being bloody, being more effective on bloody casualty on TV than bloody on the football team. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was getting at you. No, it bleeds into every going on at the club. That's like me watching the Strange multiverse, the absolute Doctor Strange multiverse, bruv. I am looking at these Man United fans. You know what? We need to line up every single one of them. Adam Matic, KG, Flex, Owen, Terry Flewers, all them, and we need to go tie them up right, put them in a line, and I go 1 slap, 2 slap. 3 slap, 4 slap. They just need to wake up. Brother. They don't like you, mate. They're in a suit. They're using you. You bloody sellouts. I'm telling you something right now. If they had a chance to sell their bloody backside, they'll sell it in an instant. Like that. You see me? I was in the music industry 20 years. Soul still here. Those people were still, they would sell it in an instant. And that's what they do. At the end of the day, what we have to say, Alex, is that if Ineos have made this rule where we only want players who want to play for the football club, we're not gonna get anybody. Football doesn't work like that. Cantona didn't grow up with a Man United shirt. Roy Keane sported Spurs. Wayne Rooney sported Everton. Right? Let's be. Wayne Rooney's dream was play for Everton. Rio Ferdinand supported West Ham. These players did not support Man United. They had to be persuaded. They had to be persuaded to come to Man. You think Tonali supports Tottenham? He supports AC Milan. Yeah, and then if you think Mateus Fernandes grew up, oh damn, I really want to play for Spurs one day. Of course not. But players have to feel wanted. Man United used to have to fight for Rooney. They used to have to fight for Ferdinand and fight for Cantona and Andy Cole. When Andy Cole came in, you know, when Andy Cole came in, he wasn't a Man United. He's an Arsenal fan. He wasn't interested in coming Man United. Fernandes too expensive. No, he wasn't. He wasn't Hassan too expensive. And you'll see why he's not too expensive. Because his ceiling is up there. He's going to be a Portuguese international next tournament. And then we're going to see more expensive. It's the going rate. It's the way. It's a very, very good player. I don't want to hear about, oh, West Ham got relegated. So did Nottingham Forest when we signed Roy Keane. They got relegated. But Roy Keane was our record signing at the time. and he became a legend. He's a good player. I'm not going to make excuses that he was too much. You know, but bringing in Tonali, then you can say Tonali, yeah. I'm astonished. Let's forget about Fernandes for a second, Hassan. I am astonished there are people in the fan base saying, well, Tonali's not worth it. He's actually overrated. I'm like, what the hell are you on about, mate? Are you crazy? Tonali is world class. You know? Tonali is world class. And you can't, I mean, I can't believe that there are people in our fan base, right, justifying not spending money, celebrating billionaires saving money. It's crazy. Amram persuaded Cunha and Mbeumo. Just imagine if we had Watkins and Emi Martinez, at least we would have had a good squad depth. Yeah. Look, Amram is highly disrespected, in my opinion. Really highly disrespected because from people who don't have a clue about football, who watch football like cavemen. They're basically cavemen. Cavemen, caveman footballers, basically. You know, that's basically what they are. Hey Sal, big up Jay. What's going on? Good start for Sweden. Joe Manzambi, great run for the great player, Manzambi. You know, Manzambi though, he plays more than a forward number 9, number 10, isn't it? Like a false number 9. He's not really. The thing I like about Manzambi, he goes deep and he goes forward. He does both roles very well. And that's one thing that I've noticed about Manzambi. I really like the way he plays football. I like him. I liked him at Freiburg. I've done a few watch-alongs for Freiburg this year. And I think he's a good player, man. And Man United should look at that. But you know what Man United are like, Jay? You know, at the end of the day, he's too much wages. He's not experienced. You know. What about like people like Robin van Persie? What about Robin van Persie? Robin van Persie just signed for Man United, and we paid for him as well, and he won us a league. Yeah, and that's how it happens when you pay up and you pay for it, and that's what it is. Ambition. When you need something in the team, like Man United are needing the midfielders for ages now, you know, and we haven't done that. And lo and behold, guys, I've got news coming in. I've got my friend are going to call me a bit later after the game. I'll be doing Breaking Dawn. I'm going to bring in some exclusive news. Make sure you tune in to Breaking Dawn a bit later, guys. I'm going to set up the thumbnail and that, but I've got to find out the official news from Old Trafford, of course, guys. Absolutely. Last man standing. The only worry from Tonali is that betting scandal. I don't care about betting scandals and this. You know, this thing where they're trying to devalue play. That was a long time ago. You know what I mean? And betting scandals happen all over the league. Just look at VAR in the Premier League last season. Let's not even get it. That was corrupt, mate. Look, I don't care about betting scandals. He's a good player, right? And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, he made some bet, a Como against Brescia or some crap like that, and then he's getting punished for it. You know, and at the end of the day, he's a very, very good player. And the thing is, you know, losers. You know what losers do? Do you know what losers do, guys? They make excuses. That's what losers do. Tonali and Fernandes are very, very, very good players, and Spurs have a much better midfield than us right now as we speak. They got Fernandes, right? They've got Tonali. They've got Bentancur. They got Sarr, right? Let's keep it going. You know what I mean? Look at their team. Basong's still there. Like, they got a team. Gallagher's there. You know, they got a much better team than us, much better squad. And then people are going, don't worry, we're going to be fine. Don't worry, we're going to be fine. It's ridiculous. He'd be perfect box to box, absolutely. Fergie persuaded him. Yeah, he weren't exactly like a Man United fan, was he? He wasn't a Man United fan. Robin van Persie's not a Man United fan. He supports PSV. You know, that's what we're talking about. These people, like, you know, these people are absolute nutcases. They're nut jobs, mate. Oh, only if he wants to play for Man United, then you're going to be here for a very, very, very long time. And you're going to, listen, who wants to play for Man United these days? Let's be real, guys. Let's be real as Man United fans, as human beings, right? As people who love football. Who wants to play for Man United these days? This is not the 90s, guys. We have to wake up and smell the flipping coffee, man. Honest to God, because I'm tired of it. I'll be honest with you. I'll be real with you guys. Like, players have to feel wanted. Players have to feel wanted. It's not just like, okay, I'm going to wait for him till he wants me. Why would he want you? The fans don't even like you. How the players going to like you? You know what I mean? There's just the problem in it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Hey, big up door. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, whenever you want, man. Come on whenever you want, brother. Maybe before the season, we'll do a little preview and stuff like that, innit? You know what I mean? We'll do something, man. It's good to hear you from you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, good luck to Nottingham Forest this season. Big up door. By the way, yeah, look, yeah, it's going to be a hell of a season next season, I think. Who are you going to replace Anderson with? That's the question, Dor. That's your question. Who are you going to replace Anderson with? You got good money for him. Fair play. Who are you going to get? Eric Dyer's available. Oh, God. Last gun standing, Carlos Baleba, but I don't want to touch him with a football. Look, guys, can you believe what we're hearing here? The Carlos Baleba situation. So basically, let me get this straight. Someone can have a stinking season, couldn't string 3 passes together, only appeared 20 times, substituted 12 times in the league last season, by the way, right? And we're trying to squeeze him into the conversation about signing Man United. But you know why we're trying to squeeze him? Do you know why? Because he's easy. He's easy. Last October, we met up with his entourage. We spoke to his entourage, and there was agreement there in principle, verbally, that yes, I want to go Man United. He would have signed for Man United in January, believe it or not. But because Ruben Amorim got sacked, he didn't sign. And then we ended up prolonging it and stuff like that, right? Baleba would be a monumental error. I'm telling you right now, a monumental error. You know, I would much rather us go and get Dinio from Brazil, who used to play for Nottingham Forest, by the way. I would rather get him or go and get someone like, you know, I don't want to know about Carlos Baleba. And I see it when I write these things on Twitter and Twitter X, right? And I write down, who's your dream combination in midfield? And people I don't know if it's bots or what, but people fitting in Baleba into the conversation. You know, it's ridiculous. No one replaced him, but we got great manager now. Yeah, good luck to you, brother. Good luck to you. At least you won a Champions League, innit? Unlike Arsenal. Yeah. Those who know about Nottingham Forest, guys. I'm a Man United fan, but I've been a football fan a long time. One of my favourite managers ever was Brian Clough, and like him, I really loved him to bits, man. A proper human being, a proper person, mate. You know, we don't get those characters anymore. We got Roberto Martinez, a fake manager, pretends he's a good manager. You know, with facial expressions. Do you know what I mean? And pumping chest. Nigel Clough was a proper manager, mate, and big up Nottingham Forest. I have no hatred or bitterness towards Nottingham Forest, absolutely none whatsoever, guys, absolutely. Guys, we're on a hydration break, for goodness sake. This is what Ineos do when they're doing transfers. They have a hydration break, but it's a long hydration break. Everyone don't want to play for Man United. Let me tell you a little fact about it. I know footballers, Alex. No, not everybody wants to play for Man United. It's an absolute myth. Not anymore. Not anymore, brother. You know, not anymore. No. Look, I'm the biggest Man United fan there is. I've been a Man United fan since the late 80s, right? Not everyone wants to play for Man United. I know that for a fact. I know a guy called Brian McClare. You know Brian McClare used to play for Man United? And I've spoken to Mark Bosnich as well, who used to play for Man United as well. No, there is no player right now who's looking at it thinking, damn, I want to play for Manchester United. A lot of those players, young players who are coming into the equation now, have not seen Man United win a league. You know, we're too young to see Man United win a league. Like, I'm going to be real. You know, the first part of improvement in life, you know what the first part of improvement is? Acceptance. We are run by leeches. We are run by clowns. Don't you think that every other player around Europe can see that? Why would they want to play for Man United? They could look at Man United and think, look, listen, guys, we're having players pick Spurs over us. Not because they picked them, but because Spurs are more ambitious. So when other teams, other players look at Man United, they look at Spurs and look at Man United. How comes he went to Spurs? You know, it's a disgrace. A shocking audition at Old Trafford, and we want him. It's embarrassing. Hassan, European foreign players aren't typically fans of English clubs. At least back when I was a kid, it was Milan, Juve, Madrid, Barcelona, Ajax. When I was younger, there was Man United fans everywhere. And let me tell you something, a little history lesson, a little lesson about life in general, Hassan. I traveled the world. I've been to Africa, I've been to Asia, I've been everywhere. I've seen more Man United shirts than any other shirt in the world. I go to Naples every single year. I'm going to Naples in Italy on Sunday. I see Man United shirts. I do. Man United are famous. They're famous. They're a famous football club. But a lot of people support Man United like they support Ajax. Like, for example, they're famous. But if they had a choice between picking Man United or City at the moment, or Man United or Liverpool, they pick Liverpool or City. I live in Abu Dhabi right now. I don't see Man City tops. I live in Abu Dhabi territory, but I see Man United tops. You know, and that's the thing. Big, famous, but not popular in regards to footballers, because footballers will look at it and think, I like Man United. I like their history, but they're not going anywhere. I'm going to go there. That's the thing. You know, I want everyone to be honest with yourselves. All right? If you're a Man United fan, I would pick Man United all day, even if they're in the championship. But if you're a Man United fan and you had a choice right now between signing for Man United under Michael Carrick or going to Real Madrid right now, or, you know, someone like that, you know, where would you go? You know, think about your trophy cabinet, you know. Roberto Martinez is basically a Bailey Rosenaire. He's rubbish. I'm getting annoyed. It's ruining the game, Hassan. I agree about the hydration break. It's ruining the game. It shouldn't have a place in football. Listen, I heard a guy from America speak on social media yesterday, and he said it's spot on. He said the problem with Americans is that they always try to change things. They always try to better things. What they don't understand is they don't understand the flow of football. The football is the flow. The beauty of football is the flow of the game, right? And it's one of the worst things to happen. So you remember Venezuela's, was it Venezuela's anyway, in the 2010 World Cup? It was very annoying. It was annoying, right? That World Cup is remembered because of that, you know, and this World Cup is going to be remembered because of hydration breaks. I actually think it's been a crap World Cup. I'll be honest. I haven't been impressed. I think it's been boring. I think the games have been boring. I think the games have been relatively predictable. You know, I just feel like, you know, it's just typical. It's just the vibe. I'll be honest, now I've done 40 watch-alongs. You know what I mean? I've done 40 watch-alongs, and it is not even in the top 10 of my favorite World Cups all time. So sorry, it just doesn't resonate with me, you know, and I just don't feel it. I'm not feeling it. But you know what? I hope for a good end to the World Cup. Last 8, last 16. You know, hopefully it's a good end to it. Mostly due to the lawyers. Yeah. Good morning, my friend. Good morning, Ephraim Venezuela. That's it. Venezuela. That's it, mate. Yeah, that was bloody annoying, the Venezuela. Put me off it. Yeah, this World Cup has been, It's been some good things, but meh. If you're trying to say this is one of the best World Cups of all time, you'd be lying to yourself, guys. It's been... I'm not talking about the time, because I embrace time. I live in the UAE anyway. I watch Man United very late every single day. Guys, every time Man United play at 8 o'clock, I'm up at midnight, because in October, the times change from 3 hours to 4 hours ahead here. And they don't change time in the Middle East. They change time in the UK. They don't change time here. So when the clocks go back in England, we're 4 hours ahead of them. And when a game kicks off at 8 in England, it'll kick off at midnight here. So I'm used to the time. So it's nothing to do with the time. It's just the quality of games. And the games have been a little bit subdued, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? For the 90s, if they've ball game, then we're going to it. We lived in Kuala Lumpur back then. Milan and Inter were the reggae back then. Yeah. Well, majority of the world watch the Premier League and the most supported clubs. I don't think I see AC Milan. When I was growing up and traveling, I didn't see many AC Milan and Inter Milan. I'll be honest, maybe in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, but not where I am. No, where I am, it was Man United, Liverpool in the 90s, in the 2000s. And even now, I don't see AC Milan and Inter Milan fans. I really don't. And I see Man United fans. I see Liverpool fans. I see that's it about it. I see Man United. The most shirt I see everywhere I go in the world. And I travel. I don't just talk. I travel. I'm traveling on the weekend again. You know, I see Man United fans everywhere. This is why Man United are so big. Growing up, traveling in Europe, proper footballing hub, by the way, not Malaysia, all due respect. I used to see mixture of, in the 90s and the 2000s, I used to see a mixture of shirts traveling around the world. Traveling to France, traveling to Spain, traveling to Portugal, traveling to Italy. The most shirts I saw were Real Madrid, probably. Man United all the time. I used to see Liverpool sometimes. You saw the odd AC Milan, but, you know, not really. In Premier League was just dominant. Now, the Premier League is even more dominant, you know. And you see the thing with Malaysia and things like that, they're not a football hub, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't really class them as serious, you know, but I would say that in the football hubs are Italy, Spain, France, England, where the Premier League is, where the La Liga is, Serie A is. In the 90s, Serie A was the best league in the world, right? But Premier League was still prominent, right? And go to Scandinavia, it's everywhere Man United shirts, everywhere, you know, Arsenal and Liverpool shirts, everywhere, you know, and especially now, the Premier League is the dominant force. Obviously, there's one team called PSG. I do see quite a few PSG shot tops now. That's because of recent history. When I was growing up, PSG were nobodies. But, you know, Premier League is a dominant league. It's a dominant league. You can see that with Crystal Palace and Aston Villa last season. They won the, you know, three teams in the finals of the European competition. They're just unstoppable, and they're going to get better, you know. Lots of United YouTuber have gone an overdrive in defending board. We should go for Baleba. Oh my goodness me, I love Said, honestly, I do, but I can't agree with that. Why are we going after Baleba then? We might as well go after Eric Dyer, guys, because you know what? He's available. He's not performing. You know, he's not performing for his football club, so we don't sign Baleba. No, based on what? Trust me, bruv. Inshallah, FC. No, man, absolutely not. Manchester United is massive, absolutely. 06 best one I saw in a way. The best one you saw is not even in my top 5. I thought it was pretty boring, to be honest. Even the final was boring, apart from the Zidane headbutt. The best World Cup I've seen was the 1998 World Cup. That was the best World Cup I ever saw. Talent, teams, Ronaldo, R9, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos, England, Owen, Beckham, Scholes, Campbell, you know, and then you go to France, Anelka, Henry, Zidane, Trezeguet, you know, Prozinecki of Croatia. My goodness, 1998 was just another level, man. It was just such a good time. 1998 to 2000 was the peak of World Cup football, and anyone who says otherwise has not watched it. You've not watched it. And I feel sorry for people who didn't witness that period. That squashes anything from beyond that. 98 to 2002, the quality, it was just next level. I'm sorry. You know, you just look at the teams. In the Caribbean, there is a strong fan base of Manchester. Premier League fan base, Hive. Yeah. I've been to Cuba. I've seen Man United tops. I've seen Liverpool tops and stuff like that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I've seen these players. Did you read a report in United that we are planning to play a fullback? Did you read in the report that United are absolute incompetent idiots that just talk a load of crap? Chris Wheeler, I mean, forget about it, guys. Anyway, free kick to Switzerland, guys. By the way, there's a game on. Free kick to Switzerland. You know what I'm doing at the moment? You know, this last 32. I'm more like, this last 32, I'm more like, yeah. Let's get over the last 32, then we can get into the real nitty-gritty. Chance. Over from Switzerland. Yeah. Yeah, football's shit these days, man. Honestly, like I'll be honest with you. I'll be real with you, man. It is so. Oh, right. Hydration breaks would be like, imagine they implemented hydration breaks. New buzzword, reshape. It was muscle yesterday, was it, Kenny? We muscled our way into the Bawadi talks. Don't forget that, Kenny. Mate, we protein shaped our way into the Bawadi talk, mate. That's what. Oh God, we KG'd our way into the Bawadi talks. Client journalists, all them clowns, man. I don't care. There's a lot of them are back in Ineos. A lot of them are up Ineos backside. Do you know what? Let's put everything to one side, right? Ineos will be judged on how successful Man United are. And they should be judged on how successful Man United are. So you can gaslight them as much as you want. Gaslight them, go on. But you know what? With football's a great humbler because the truth will come out. The truth will come out. Football is a great humbler. The truth will come out and they will be exposed, right? And this is what I want to say to all these so-called Man United fans and these content creators on the payroll. You're going to be exposed too because we haven't forgotten you. We are going to stay consistent on what we're saying. We will compliment when it's time to compliment. We will criticize when it's time to criticize because that's how football should be. Because if you don't criticize when you need to be criticized, you will not improve. That is the facts here, guys. You know what I mean? Let them sign Baleba and Sanderberg. Let's see how far it gets us, JDC, in the Champions League when we're playing Real Madrid at the Bernabeu and we get absolutely slapped up. Let's wait for that, innit? When Baleba's trying, out of breath, trying to catch up with Bellingham. You know what I mean? Please, man. It's going to be an embarrassment, mate. But look, listen, I'm going to sit here with my popcorn because at the end of the day, I said it. People think you can get away with a budget. You can win with a budget. Not in football, you can't. I don't know any team that's won with a budget. No team has won with a budget. Even Arsenal spent $1 billion and they squeezed it. I don't know any team that has won anything on a budget. How do you expect that to happen? If that guy are in a race, right, and they all bought Ferraris, right, and they brought Formula One cars, Mercedes and things like that, and we come with our Ford Focus, who's going to win the race? Are we going to win the race? Are we? Right? If Usain Bolt has the best training in the world in regards to his sprint in 100 meters, and we just go and jog in the park, right? Who's going to win that? Who's going to win the 100-meter race? It's not going to work. It's impossible. This is top-level sport here. This is fine margins. Fine margins. What's the difference between Spain and Portugal, or Portugal and Argentina, or Argentina and England? What's the difference? It's fine margins. There's not much margins. It's like literally minuscule, right? It's literally why Man United won a treble on minuscule margins. That's the difference. You know what I mean? So when you don't want to spend money and you don't want to look, listen, guys, one of our best players last year, if not our best player, in my opinion, was Casemiro. Right? And he scored 11 goals last year. He saved our backside so many times. Who we got to replace him? Ederson. Ederson couldn't head the ball, right? If it was thrown at him in the air and no one challenged for him. And we got Ederson. Yeah, and can I tell you something? And I don't want to be horrible. I got a lot of respect. I got a lot of connections, should I say, to Italian football. A lot, right? I go to Italy a lot and go there on the weekend. Atalanta are laughing at us. As we speak, they're laughing at us for buying Ederson. Nobody else wanted him. They couldn't get rid of him. It's a fact, guys. Sorry. And we got him because he's cheap and easy. That's why we got him. Let's be real here, guys. This is what it is. I'm going to give him a chance and support him with everything I have. Let's not kid ourselves that he was cheap and easy. That's why we got him. Don Barcelona, but it killed the creativity and passion. I think what killed it is obviously money has been a big part of it. Obviously teams buying success. Chelsea buying success, Man City buying success, you know, and that killed it. Obviously, Barcelona, everyone tries to copy the Barcelona mode, which is free at front. I mean, 4-4-2 died out. Let me just tell you something. Not only that, I'm going to be very, very honest with you. Footballers ain't as talented these days. That's it. And the reason they're not as talented these days, and this is an obvious thing, is because they don't focus on football as much as they used to. When I was growing up, it's football and football only. Football and football only. These days, it's social media, following, and then football. That's what it is. It's not so much about Barcelona tiki-taka. It has nothing to do with that. Football is football. Barcelona have always played tiki-taka football. They have it in La Masia for 50 years. The same style. It's just that they had Iniesta and Xavi and they got highlighted, right? Football is shit now because the players are crap. Films are shit now because actors are crap. Because they are fabricated and it's favoritism and they don't want to, you know, work for it. They go on YouTube and it's social media and this and that. It's destroyed. That's destroyed it. Talent regression has destroyed football. How many great goals you seen in this tournament? How many? Kane goals. You know Harry Kane goals? How many goals like that I saw in my life in the World Cup? I take you back to World Cups in the past. I'll show you some goals. You know? There's no talent these days. Average players who can run are valued at 80 million. Players who can just run, who are athletic. Basically a glorified 100-meter sprinter. That's it. The owners are shit. Spurs have a better midfield than us. How they want us to calm down? Yeah, Ephraim, exactly. And Spurs ain't stopping, you know. And other teams are not going to stop. Other teams are not going to stop and just wait around. They're going to get better as well. You know, this is what we're talking about. Spurs are not going to stop. This is the thing. They are notorious for selling flops. One of them is Rasmus. You know? A kid, Hassan, he's 26. He's 26. He's not a kid. He's not going to replace anybody. Let me give you a little fact, right? He had 3 caps for Brazil in his whole career. Thiago of Brentford and Ryan have more caps than him at their age. The only reason he got in that Brazil squad is because he signed for Man United and he got highlighted. That's it. He would never have got in the Brazil squad again. I'll be honest, guys. 27, barely a kid, barely hasn't played for Brazil yet. They brought him there just for numbers. Shit actors these days. Where's the Al Pacinos and and Robert De Niro's? Where are they now? Where's the funny people like Jim Carrey and all that? Where are they? You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not just football, it's film, it's everything. You know, and football has regressed so significantly, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. If Man United got Beckham, Scholes, Keane, Giggs, York, Cole, Stam, Irwin, Neville, Schmeichel, right now, they got them together, right, at 55 years old, right? And gave them a week, gave them 2 weeks to train together, right? They would be better than this Man United team. Let me tell you that right now, at 50. That's how football has regressed, because they are just a bunch of runners. They don't think with their brain. They ain't got brains. They don't know how to play football. They play like on instinct. They play like a bunch of flies, you know? Yeah, that should be a good game, David Zass. I'm looking forward to that one. Spain are tenfold better than them at this moment in time. I think Spain are better, mainly because of the manager. As I said, I don't really rate Roberto Martinez highly as some people do. But yeah, there you go. Guys, don't forget to join me for Breaking Dawn with the latest news around Man United. I will be here at 7 a.m. UK. Of course, straight an hour after the game, hour 10 minutes after the game, I'll be here. So obviously normal time. Breaking Dawn still goes ahead, guys. So we're still every single day. Tomorrow I'm going to obviously today I've got the other watch along tonight, Egypt against Australia, and then I've got tomorrow Colombia is playing tomorrow, isn't it? True, I can't stand Kevin Hart movies. Gives me Kerry, Belushi. Give Luke Wilson. He ruined it. There's not enough talent out there anymore, Hassan. We have to be real with it. Every single act. Look at when I was growing up. Who we had? We had Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. You know, even the female actors. You know, and you know we had actors everywhere. You know, Morgan Freeman was another one. Denzel Washington, Will Smith. We just had so many proper actors. These days, where are they? Edward Norton is another one. In the comedy side, we had obviously Jim Carrey and stuff. You know. At least then, Goldbridge was saying Leonardo DiCaprio, Kenny, spot on. Spot on. Kenny, let's talk about Bollywood. You know, let's talk about that. Amitabh Bachchan, you know, Amir Khan, Shah Rukh Khan. They all come from the 90s, man. No, where is the actors now? Where are they? Goldbridge was saying right now would be. I'm not going to say nothing at the moment because I'm hearing so many different things. The thing is, the funniest thing that I heard yesterday is people saying they're happy we didn't pay for Tonali and Fernandez. They're happy about that. They're happy we saved money. We're actually Oliver Twist FC, you know that. We're actually, please sir, give me some more, sir. That's what we actually are. All those gaslighters of Ineos, right, are basically poor people in their mind. They're basically beggars. You know, they've fallen for the old billionaire, the lying billionaire. They've fallen for it. You know what I mean? I mean, some of these people shouldn't be working on social media or platforms or content creators. They should be working in McDonald's. Honestly, they're so, weak mentalities, man. Honestly. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, 70, yeah, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know why it was, Hassan? Because it was pure. There was no fabricated things. There's no YouTube where you can manipulate your way to success, fake views, this, that. Back then, music, film, football was word of ear. It was word of ear. So if you were talented, people talk about you. Really talk about you. These days, do you know what? Universal, Sony, and Columbia would say, you know what, to make this person popular, what we do, right, we pay YouTube to slap 1 million views on the video, and then we're going to make it the most viewed video in the world. That's what they do. But just because it's the most viewed video in the world, it doesn't mean they're the most talented because it's fake. It's because they throw more money at it. That's all. And they put them on. Imagine, right, guys, imagine this, right? I might not be the best content creator in the world, right? Okay? Imagine they put me on the front page of YouTube and they push me. They push me and they make me say, he's the best, he's the best, he's the best. People start believing it subconsciously, right? It's like what people believe Messi's the best when he's not. If people start believing it subconsciously, they believe it. Back in my day, or the 70s and the 60s, 90s was my day, really. I was born in the 80s, but 90s was my day. There was word of ear. You heard a song, you heard it play in the radio, there, and you think, oh, that's a catchy tune. And then people start talking about it, and it's word of ear. You know, nowadays it's fabricated nonsense. I'll tell you that right now. So anyone wants to come in here, talk about football these days and footballers these days and slander 90s football and only started watching football in 2005, you know, listen, I don't want to hear it. Because I guarantee you, Southampton of the 90s will win the Premier League now. I'm not saying that to get buzzwords or anything like that, but Southampton, halftime, guys, 1-0 to Switzerland. Southampton would win the league now if they were in that 90s team. Everything was exceptional, Ephraim. Everything. It was the peak of humanity. It was the peak of humanity. When phones came out, right, we didn't really embrace the technology because, you know, the great thing about me, I've seen no phones, big phones, then I've seen the develop of internet and that I've been from nothing to what we have today. So we were raised with nothing, with maps and paper and you know, obviously analog sort of lifestyle where everything was done with using your brain. If you got lost, you got lost. We didn't have an internet. We didn't have a phone. You had to use your brain, right? I've gone for that to that. So I see it, and I've seen the development of it. When phones and stuff came out, when mobile phones and everything like that came out, right? We didn't embrace it like that. Especially when the camera phones come out. We used to have I remember when the detachable camera came out. You know what I mean? The detachable camera came out. You attach it to the phone. And I said, I don't want it. It's a bit too far. You know that? This is what everyone was saying at the time. Cameras on phones. It's a bit too much. It's a bit too privacy driven, and stuff. We used to think with our brains back then. It's a bit too secretive. It's internet. It's a bit. We just used to like phones, text, and that was it. Emojis, and that's it. Like, that was all it was. These days, everything is like the touch of a finger. Everything is too easy to get it. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy to become a footballer. I had people used to come on this channel and say, Sal, could you promote me? Could you send me to, could you give me some agents? Or could you send my video clips to some agents for me? Bruv, I was in the music industry 20 years. I went from East London in England in a 1-bedroom apartment, 5 of us, to working with Shady Records and Eminem. Guys, how did I do that? It weren't because I got everything put on a plate for me. It's because I went out there and sold CDs with my brother in the freezing cold, begging people to buy my CD, right? And then, word of mouth, comes out. And it's all on YouTube anyway. Reds, REDZZ, check it out. Right? And this is what I'm talking about, right? The difference then, now everything is fabricated. Many content creators these days, if YouTube wasn't around, let me be real with you guys. If YouTube wasn't around, they would be probably selling melons on the market, guys. They'd probably be selling pineapples. They'd probably be selling peanuts in Milan, or whatever. They'd probably be doing something like that. Do you know what I mean? £1 fish, very, very cheap. £1 fish, very, very nice. That's probably what they'll be doing, guys. Right? If YouTube wasn't around. That's what I'm being real with you guys. I'm being real with you guys. Like, these people live off YouTube. I was a metalhead. So was I, Hassan. Back then, I listened to Iron Maiden. They're from my area, by the way, in East London. System of Down, Judas Priest, Metallica, Megadeth. Wow, you see that? Nowadays, people like AC/DC and metal. So I get what you mean. Metal's dead, Hassan. I was raised on, and obviously, I worked with Linkin Park. I know about my thing. I worked with Chester Bennington, God rest his soul. Rock used to be a different level when you had Kerrang and all that. Do you know what I mean? And you had the proper cheap TV channels that broadcast it. Probably Sepultura, obviously, Marilyn Manson and 9 Inch Nails and Placebo and all these bands, Deftones, and they were great bands. And you don't get them these days. These days, it's a bunch of softies and fabricated AI music. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Pure life, no drama. Exactly. We for sure won't get Chiromini. Already shills are saying that the wage demand is too much. So what I would say about that, JDC, so how much are we willing to pay? Because as far as I'm aware, every player you go for is going to be valued at and want around that much money. So what are we doing here? We've paid Mason Mount 250 grand a week for years. That's how much Chiromini earns, by the way. He earns less because he's in euros. Mason Mount's in pounds, right? We've paid a Mason Mount. So why don't we just get rid of that injury-prone, useless Pratt? Why don't we just do that? Why don't we just get rid of Luke Shaw? I thought if we can't afford it, which we can, by the way, it's lies, right? Why don't we just get rid of Mason Mount? Why don't we just get rid of Luke Shaw? Go on, best in class. Go and get rid of them. Buy some proper players. Get rid of these serial losers. Get rid of them. Because that's all they are, is serial losers. None of them have achieved anything at Man United of significance. So just get rid of them. Save some money. I don't want to hear about, we can't afford Chiromini's money. We saving 350 grand a week on Casemiro wage. We are saving 300 grand a week on Sancho wage. Rashford will be out the door. He's another 350 grand a week we're going to save on money, on wages. Rasmus Højlund, another 200 grand a week we're going to save on wages. So what are we doing here? So all they're doing is save, 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 save. What are we doing? We save so much money. So what do they want? Us to have 5 players in the squad or something? It's a joke, teammate. It's a lie. It's a manipulation, a tactic. We've got no money. We can't afford anything. And these bloody football lap dancers on these other social media channels are lapping it up. You know what I mean? AI fabrication. And this is what I'm talking about. It was good to see Ronaldo get another goal versus Portugal. And this is what I'm talking about, Jay. Right? Cristiano Ronaldo at 41 is scoring goals in the World Cup. That will never happen. Lamine Yamal will be retired at 35. He wouldn't even go near it. He would be exhausted. That's the thing. It's the levels here, guys. You know what I mean? He'd be if he gets to 35 playing football, it probably won't. Like it'd be like Neymar. You know what I mean? And that's what happens to the footballers these days. There would never be another Cristiano Ronaldo. So appreciate Cristiano Ronaldo. You know? Nine Inch Nails, probably the best industrial rock band, but their 200 album was so light. I knew there, and then that metal was done. Not I listen to music anymore, too distracting. I used to be in the music industry 20 years, so I have to keep up to date. I'm obviously a music man. Obviously, my brother was a rapper, worked with everyone, G Unit, everyone. So I know the game 100%, you know, and I was raised on music because that's all I had, really. I didn't have much. And I had music, you know, and I love music. And yeah, ever since I was 16 years old, and you know what I mean, and you know, working in music. I've been working in music since 16 years old, actually, you know what I mean? And it was, yeah. 90s was the golden generation, yeah. Who they think they are, they can not get the best players without spending. They're idiots, mate. And you know, the biggest idiots are the fans and the content creators who lap it up. They're the biggest idiots. And I would urge every single person to recognize the game and see what they're trying to do, you know. How the hell did Lamine Yamal face of one of the faces of the World Cup? That's why. PR. That's it. What do you think Croatia's disallowed goal shouldn't have been disallowed? Shouldn't have been disallowed. If you have to look at something, like I said earlier, if you have to look at something for more than a minute, it's not clear and obvious and it shouldn't be disallowed. Luke Shaw tried to stay fit last season to get selected, but he did not. And did you see, Leeson? Did you see his performances drop? I don't know if you noticed, guys, but when he didn't get picked for England and he knew he wasn't going to be in the England squad, watch his performances. Watch it back. His performances went like this. They went like this. They nosedived. They just went, poof, they nosedived. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I remember it well. You know what I mean? Yeah, unbelievable. Such a fraud. Anyway, it's 1-0 to Switzerland, guys. Algeria haven't really been in the game. You know, one of those games where you could just talk, right, and nothing's happening? Sort of like this game. Yeah, that Portugal are extremely lucky, this game. The game against Croatia, extremely lucky. But one thing it gives me confidence as an England fan is that England slapped Croatia. You know? My neck is killing me. You know, all these watch-alongs, guys, it's crazy, man. Man United are stressing me, though, man. I'll be honest with you guys. They're just a flipping cancer, honestly. Luke Shaw provides nothing going forward. Yeah. Luke Shaw should sell burgers, mate. He's a bloody bum. All of these players are bloody bums, mate. They're all accomplices to the Glazers and Ineos, man. Honestly. All these bloody bums. Let me pretend I'm extremely happy. Let me laugh, over-exaggeratingly laugh on my stream. Let me do that, because that's what these content creators do. That's so funny. That's it. Let's just act like a prat. Maybe people like me more. You know what I mean? That's what it is, man. Idiots. Yeah. Come on. Let's go, guys. Waiting for the second half to come. Yeah. I'm waiting for the second half to come. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it does seem like I'm forever waiting in this World Cup. That's one thing about it. If I was to put, it feels like I'm forever waiting. I feel that feels like CR7 is hate is unreal. I'd like to see half of these schmucks at 35 foot, mate. Exactly in the heat in the desert. I saw fans hoping Portugal lost. Guess Bernardo Silva doesn't matter to them. Exactly, bro. Look. There's a reason that the PR spin. They spin the PR on him because of his beliefs and his stance against certain things in the Middle East, and that's why they don't like him. It's as simple as that, you know, because he's on the right side of history, mate. That's why, you know. He's on the right side of history. Is Cristiano. So that's that. 9:45 p.m. That's it. Big up everyone in the stream. Thanks everyone who's joined me today, guys. Really appreciate it. You are legends. You are the legends, guys. Thank you. Ephraim, hypocrites. They say we want players who want United, then we have mercenaries in our squad. Exactly that. Yeah, Man United is stressful sometimes. I don't ever want to talk about them. And normally I love talking about an amazing club, but that's how they make United fans feel sometimes. Yeah, the biggest disheartening thing, Jay, is that some of us actually love Man United. Some of us love our ego and our and love the Glazers and Ineos, basically. And that's what the most frustrating thing is for me. I can deal with owners. I can deal with calling them out. I can't deal with these fake fans and on these big platforms with little brains, backing them up because it benefits them. It's a conflict of interest. I can't deal with this. That's the thing. That's the thing I can't deal with the most. Do you know what I mean? Ready for the second half, guys. Switzerland are going to kick off, guys, from left to right. Let's go. Let's go. You know, I've been to Switzerland, right? Switzerland is the most expensive country I've been to. So bloody expensive. All right. Yeah, so next week it's going to start getting interesting now, isn't it? Everything's going to start getting like the World Cup, you know, it's going to start getting into the proper World Cup, isn't it? And stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Worst PR thing I have ever seen is we should only go for players who want to, you know, we are not United. So in that theory, JDC, let me just bring that theory into the equation real quickly. Brian Robson did not want to. He had a competition and he went begging to play for Man United. Dennis Irwin was not begging to play for Man United. Roy Keane was not begging to play for Man United. A Tottenham fan. Wayne Rooney was close to signing for Newcastle. We had to fight for him. He weren't begging to come to Manchester United. He just about came. Cristiano Ronaldo was not begging to come to Manchester United. Arsenal wanted him. He nearly went to Arsenal. Let's go on. Rio Ferdinand was not begging to go to Manchester United. He was wanted by Liverpool. Is all that. He was signed for them as well. We had to fight for these players, guys. Goal, 2-0. It's game over, guys. Useless Algeria have done it again. They're 2-0 down against a very, very average Switzerland team. And they are good. They're not coming back from this. This is like the bloody Austria game all over again. Useless. Absolute useless. Ndoye with the goal, guys. Switzerland 2. Algeria 0. Game, set, match. Useless. Straight away, the second half started. It's 2-0. It's a beautiful country indeed, Ephraim. He's quite polarizing, to be honest. I hated him from 0608, but even then I respected him. Hate's a big word, Hassan. I don't like using hate because hate means someone who's bloody attacked you or something, like someone tried to hurt you. So that's hate. Hate is completely different, you know? I disliked him or something, you know what I mean? I never thought Van Dem would go this mad extent. I guess that's why they are fans, and I'm an enthusiast apparently. Big up, bro. Yep, 2-0. Worst PR thing is we should only go for players that want United. We are not United, and Alex Ferguson and Donny will choose us over. Nobody's going to choose you. Let me tell you one now about football. Nobody's going to choose you if you don't show intent in football. Players have to feel wanted too. They think we signed Andy Cole. Yeah, of course we did. We just signed Andy Cole because he wanted to desperate to come. Mate, he's an Arsenal fan. He would have went to Arsenal in the end of the season. I know all this. You know, I know all this. There were players who played from out. Wayne Rooney nearly went to Newcastle. We had to persuade him. Cristiano Ronaldo nearly went to Arsenal as well. We had to persuade him. He nearly went to Barcelona as well. Had to persuade him. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's think about Rio Ferdinand. He was wanted by Liverpool. He was wanted by Barcelona. He was wanted by Real Madrid. We persuaded him to come to Man United. We persuaded Robin van Persie to come to Man United. You know, we can go on and on and on. Erwin Keane didn't want to go. Keane's priority was not Manchester United. Cantona, we had to persuade Cantona, phone calls and all, to come to Man United. Now, so if we like this, right? If we're like this sort of mentality where let's sit back and let's just watch them, you know, and they're gonna, if they don't want us, if they don't approach us, then they're not coming to the football club. How does that work, guys? How does that work? Because at the end of the day, a player's going to say, well, I don't have to approach them. If they want me, they come and get me. It's the same with Tottenham. It's the same with Man City, with Anderson and Tonali, respectfully, and Fernandes. It's not about how much they paid him a week. It's the fact we didn't even approach. If it was between Man United and Spurs, he's going to Man United. I know that for a fact, 100%. But Man United weren't serious. And that's the difference, you know? Oh, Chancellor Algeria, they need to get back in the game, man. Come on. Yeah. Did you see Goldbridge said, keep an eye out for Kone? I don't believe it. I've been talking about Kone Zayed for a long time on this channel before anybody knew who Manu Kone was. I've been talking about Kone, mate. You know, there's lots of people recycling news. The Owa Bawadi news, where Lille was selling to Man United for 100 million, or we can get him cheaper and loan him back to Lille for a year. I said that last week, and now, lo and behold, all the big journalists are talking about it. It's almost like I'm not bullshitting, right? You know, on this channel, right, one day they're going to find out. It's only because I don't flaunt myself and pay journalists to give me a shout out, like the other ones. If you know, you know. Ephraim, the most stupid thing I heard is Tonali's not good on the ball. There are people going to slander Tonali and Mateus Fernandes to fit a narrative now. That's what people are going to do. They're going to slander to make them losers, guys. It's a bit like going after a girl, right, and asking them out on a date, right? And they say no, and you say, "Well, I didn't want you anyway. I didn't want you anyway. You're ugly." That's exactly what Man United are. You know what I mean? That's what the Man United fans are. We didn't want him anyway. He's rubbish. He's not worth it. I guarantee you, if Man United signed Tonali and Mateus Fernandes, we will be jumping up and down in euphoria. The Man United fans were saying, "Oh, look at Ineos. Look at them. Proper backing their manager. Proper backing Carrick. Blah, blah, blah." And let's not forget, guys, the biggest loser in all this is Carrick and the fans, right? They're the biggest losers. The players get paid anyway. Carrick and the fans are the biggest losers. Carrick's the one who's going to lose his job. The fans are the ones who are going to be bantered, are going to have to suffer another poor season. We lack characters in the midfield. We lack solidarity. We have Mainu and Edison. Edison is not a great character, guys. I'm telling you right now. I also think that Amram was a much better talker than Carrick. He got Cunha and Mbumo to choose us over 15th. That everyone, yeah, exactly, Zaid. Players are egotistical. They need love. They need you to tell them why we should go to Man. Why should he go to Man United? Guys, be honest with yourselves. Why should a player wait for Man United when they don't know Man United are going to come in for him? It doesn't make any sense. Do you think Mateus Fernandes is going to sit there and go, "No, I'm not going to go to Spurs. I'm going to wait for Man United to come for me"? You know, he's not going to go up to Man United and say, listen, are you looking for a midfielder? Because I'm available. You think he's going these people just, they don't, it doesn't make sense, bro. It doesn't make sense. These people are clowns, man. The people say these nonsense narratives. It just drives me absolutely mad, you know? True, I suppose hate is a bit too much. Dislike is maybe a, yeah, dislike, disdain. Hate, you can use hate in a banter category, but hate a player. I don't hate anyone, man. Pushing. He's the only player that actually openly, you know, supports what's the real thing. The only one I've seen. Fernandez said the coach was one of the biggest reasons he joined Spurs. No, not true. Not true. The only reason he joined Spurs is because Spurs put the money on the table and we didn't bid. Otherwise, he would have joined Man United. He prioritized Man United. I know that for a fact. He prioritized Man United. He said, I want Man United. I want Champions League football. Why would he go to Spurs? Because he grew up when he was younger, worshipping De Zerbi and Spurs. No. He went to Spurs because Spurs put the money there on the table to West Ham United. And now all these stories are coming out trying to cover that up. You know? When in the reality, it's the fact that Man United didn't bid and Man United had a payment structure plan, installment plan. And this is a fact, guys. It's not a lie. This is not fabrication. They had an installment plan that West Ham were not willing to do. That's why he signed for Spurs, not because of De Zerbi. Carrick's far more of a legend than De Zerbi. You know, it's just Man United are a much, much bigger club than Tottenham. Man United in the Champions League. Tottenham are nobodies. It's the fact that we didn't bid. And we wanted, if we did bid, we wanted to bid in installments. We wanted to put an installment plan. And West Ham were not willing to do that. So they've tried to cover it up and sweeten the deal by saying, I love De Zerbi. De Zerbi, I wanted De Zerbi. Do you notice he didn't say Spurs? It's because I wanted to play for Spurs. He wanted to play for De Zerbi. Who the fuck wants to play for De Zerbi? That Marseille legend. That managed Marseille. It's not exactly managed bloody Real Madrid and Barcelona and people like that. It's just a joke thing, man. It's a joke. De Zerbi is a joke thing in Italy. At the end of the day. And they're acting like he's a rebirth of flipping, you know, Ancelotti. The guy's won nothing. Serious. It's a joke, you know, and they're using that as a thing. Oh, we chose De Zerbi over Cap. No. He had no choice to make. Man United did not go in for him, and that's a fact. Tonight, not going to the ball. A pig's fly out of George Kroenke's backside as well. Give me a break. Yeah. This is what some fans are saying. Some fans are saying, Hassan, that they agree with everything. We're not paying that money. They agree with that. Look, I can understand. I can respect. We didn't buy one. But to let 3 go through our fingers because of that. Man City are not stupid. Man City are the kings of doing business. They're run by proper owners. They notoriously don't spend 100 million on one player. They buy a few players on a lot of money, but they notoriously, throughout the last recent history, they don't buy 100 million players. They obviously think Anderson's worth it. I do as well. I think he's going to fit in like a glove. I really do. And everyone's going to see it. All right, you can miss out on various players and you can throw all the excuses under the sun when you end up with nobody. Guys, I'm trying to get people gaslighting Edison. A month ago, nobody was talking about Edison on this stream. Nobody, no content creator, nothing. I probably mentioned him a couple of times in a year. Right? I've actually said that, you know what, it's been poor from Edison recently, you know, but here we are, guys. He plays for, he's going to play for Man United. Let's wait and see. Can you blame him, though, Zaid? He's a businessman. This is what businessmen do. Let's not blame the agents. Let's blame Man United. Let's stop putting the agents and the player in the forefront of your mind. Put the board in the forefront of your mind. Put the board in the forefront of your mind. Why should a player go to Man United? Why should George Mendes respect Man United? Look what we've done to Lenny Yoro. We can't even give him time. You know, at the end of the day, look. Let's stop thinking about agents. Let's stop thinking about Mateus Fernandes. And let's stop putting our energy into the board. That's what the problem is. Forget George Mendes. Agents will be agents. They've been like that since the dawn of the century. Right? That's what they are. Alex Ferguson said that. But let's not use them. He's a scumbag. And the scumbag is the board. I haven't seen you one time come on here and say the board are scumbags. Because they are. Every United fan should say that before they say anything about agents, anything about players. That's what they should be aiming at. And that's why this channel is growing, because I spit the gospel every single day. And I get proven right every flipping single day. You know, every day. Gone are the days when players would just say, yeah, I want to join United. Even then, we had to persuade them, mate. People don't understand we had to persuade Andy Cole. Phone calls and all. Hate for the Glazers. Yeah, exactly that. I agree. All players. No, because I worked side. Let me give you a little history lesson about myself. I worked with Bruno Fernandes' brother for 3 years at the NHS in London. Do your research, right? I worked with his brother for 3 years. He had to be persuaded. He had options. He had to be persuaded. He weren't like, I got this love for Man United because of Cristiano Ronaldo. No. Don't get it twisted, mate. I know for a fact. And I worked with his brother. It wasn't like that. We just about got him. This installment plan is nonsense. I mean, are we beggars? Yeah, we're like a bank, mate. Anderson will be ball out at City. Watch this space. Yeah, he will ball out. Man City are not stupid. They're run by proper owners. It's whoever it is. Look, JDC, we could talk about Lamine Yamal, right? Let me give you an example here. We could talk about Lamine Yamal, and Lamine Yamal rejects Man United. These content creators will come on and say, he's not even good anyway. He's not good anyway. He's overrated. This is what they would do just to fit a narrative, if you know what I mean. Just to fit their begging Ineos sort of narrative going on there, whatever that is. Ineos bootlickers are now calling him an Italian McTominay. Okay, mate. So what's Ederson then? A Brazilian Eric Dyer? Let's go for it then, shall we? Come on. We're cheap as chips, mate. We're bargain bucket FC, mate. That's what we are. We're £1 fish. Very, very nice. £1 fish. That's what we are. Very, very cheap. £1 fish. Man United. You know? And we're going for what we're going for that, you know? It's kind of his job to be a scumbag. I dealt with a few. Yeah, exactly that. If you're not a scumbag, how are you not going to be? You can't be successful. If you're soft and nice and cuddly, you're not going to be successful in agent work. And that's the same in music, you know? And I was a music manager, so I know, you know? So it's the same. If you want to be a winner, you're going to have to do things that, you know, unpopular, and it's going to upset a lot of people, you know? What do you want George Mendes to do? George Mendes is standing there. He's going, right, okay, Man United haven't bid. Man United have not agreed a fee with West Ham. So what do you want him to do? Wait? Will that bid come? You know, that's the thing. They're businessmen at the end of the day. And, you know, they would do business the right by them, you know, at the end of the day. Because Tottenham might, like, for example, if they wait for Tottenham, Tottenham might not come in again, and they might, and obviously Matheus Fernandes didn't want to play in the Championship, so it's very dodgy. You know, we are not in the petition. You don't rate Tonali. He's definitely not 100 million. Well, he's good, mate. He's definitely good. You don't rate him because he doesn't play for Man. They're all good, mate. Tonali's a very good player. He's everything Man United are. He's everything Man United need. Everything. Him and Anderson and Matheus Fernandes, they're all the same. I'm not downplaying any of them because they're all better than our midfield, mate. Every single one of them. Every one of them, whether they're worth 80 or 100 or 70, they're all better than our midfield right now. Exactly. We got the Brazilian Eric Dyer. Let's celebrate, guys. Because we could all play that game. 3 cats for Brazil in 20 years. You know? In your opinion, Zayed, no, he's not. In your opinion, no, he's not. He is not better than. Technically gifted, better player than Guimaraes. 2 different players anyway, but better than Guimaraes. No, he's not, mate. I don't see people queuing up for Guimaraes for that price. You know, no ways. He's not. Zaid, you talk a lot of shit, bruv. I'll be honest with you. You know, you are very opinionated, but you talk based on nonsense. You can't say that Guimaraes is better than Tonali. You can't say that, no. In what ground? Because he's a passion merchant. How did he do, y'all, last season, by the way? He played more games than Tonali. How did he do last season defending that? Because he's 28. It's not because he's 28. It's because he's bloody overrated, mate. It's a passion merchant. Watch him for Brazil. It's rubbish. Watch him. He's just a passion merchant, plays for Newcastle. And because he plays for Newcastle, that overhappening. Man, goodness me. God, what are we doing here? Better than Tonali? Come on, man. No, he's not better. Have you seen Tonali? Do you actually know? Arsenal want him. Arsenal want him, yeah. They want him for a squad player, mate. That's what they want him for. They also wanted Tonali, didn't they? You know, so Arsenal want him, but yeah, plants in the media. Let's see if they get him. Plants in the media, mate. Zaid, you know what? There's a difference between me and you. I've worked in football. I'm in football. I watch football every day. It's my job. Every day. I don't speak on emotion. I speak on facts. Tonali's a very, very, very good player. Right? And if anyone wants to talk, say Tonali's rubbish, I don't rate him. It's just you're glinios, you're glazonomic. That's what you are. Because at the end of the day, that's how you come across, mate. You're very opinionated with... One thing I would do in life, listen to people who've been around the block a little bit and watched a lot of football, right? Listen to people. And that's what I'll do to you, Zaid, with all due respect. I have a massive community. I have 1,000 people watching me at 7 a.m. There's a reason for that, Zaid, right? All right, let me just say something. Listen. I don't like him. Guimaraes is better than him. It's a low IQ. It's a low IQ opinion. I don't like him. Guimaraes is better than him. Why do you have to put other people on this pedestal? I compare him to him. Guimaraes is... I would be disappointed with signing Guimaraes. He's a passion merchant, mate. I don't want to hear about Guimaraes. I don't want to hear about any of these 28-year-olds who not achieved nothing in their careers. No, I don't care, mate. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? I listen to Newcastle fans. I know Newcastle fans. I've had loads on the channel. I know people like Rob Lee used to play for Newcastle. You know, so let's not go there. I watch them weekly. I watch everything. Zaid, you're opinionated. Your opinion stinks, mate. And you're very arrogant because you think you know it. But you come across very, very arrogant, mate. You think, oh my God, like yesterday, you just don't accept the logic, Zaid. You know, and I don't need to read out comments, but I do because I do it through respect. I'm respecting in football. I've got agents. I know everybody, right? And I know what people say, right? And it's not about I know bloody Tom from bloody Tyneside and he's been watching them every single week. I know proper people, mate. Proper people. And you know what? Guimaraes not a bad player, but to say he's better than Tonali, that's a lie. You know, that's a lie. That's not true. Absolutely not. Worldwide, they would disagree with you. Worldwide. Even Brazil. You know, they would disagree with you. Some people just, honestly, like, you're the epitome of the regression of football IQ. Sorry. You know? Oh, God. You can rate players. You can not feel players, but you don't have to compare. He's better than that because you have some personal, you know. Yeah, Guimaraes is more experienced. Of course, he's 28, yeah. But almost every physical attribute I give Tonali. Tonali reminds me of Rob Vieira Keane type of midfielder. Exactly. And can bang in a few goals as well for you if you need it. He's a leader at his age. The guy is an absolute animal. His personality is there. What you need is a winner. Trust me, man. You know what they're saying in Italy about him? You know what they're saying? Now, all right. Okay, guys. Watch next season. Come back on this channel and watch next season. Watch next season. Watch what we're going to say in 3-4 games into the season. Watch and learn. Watch and learn. Watch what's going to happen. I've known Tonali since he was a youth team player. I know about him. Just like I know Francesco Camara and Liberali and all them at AC Milan right now, right? That's why I know all them coming up through the ranks. I already know. No one knows about Francesco Camara. I was talking about Francesco Camara about a year ago when he was 16 years old, right? And now he's got 2 caps for Italy. You know, there's nothing wrong, Ritual, of arguing about Newcastle players, because at the end of the day, Roy Keane came from Nottingham Forest. So let's do a little bit of history work here, right? You know, let's talk about that. Where did Zidane come from at the end of the day? You know, it doesn't matter who they play for at the end of the day. I would not say that he's crap because he plays for that team. You know what I mean? That's exactly where Cristiano Ronaldo plays for Sporting Lisbon. You know what I mean? It's nonsensical. You know? Tottenham are going to sign Krupi. I've got a feeling. Tottenham are going to sign Krupi of Bournemouth. Tottenham are going to sign him. I've got this feeling they're going to sign him as well. They're serious, you know. They're serious. Tottenham are serious. Anyone who comes on and says, well, we're arguing about Newcastle midfielders, or we're not arguing, we're debating. We're not arguing. We don't dislike each other. It's a football debate. If I was in a bar with Zayed, we will be talking like this and having a laugh. That's what it is at the end of the day. I'll call Zayed a prat. He'll call me a prat, and we'll debate it. But saying that just because he plays for Newcastle, any one player, you think Lewis Hall is crap then because he plays for Newcastle? No. That's not how football works. Some of our greatest players in our history played for rubbish football clubs. Cantona played for Leeds. You know, Irwin played for Oldham. You know, shall we go on? You know, it's nothing to do with who they played for. They're getting croupy, mate. So I don't listen to the in the nose. They don't know jack shit, mate. They copy people like me. They watch this channel and they copy me. And they'll be saying exactly the same thing as me. You know, Spurs in general are not bad. You know. Why do United have no good in the nose? Because I am one of them, Syed, and that's disrespectful to me because I've called out a lot of things on this channel. Ephraim will know how many people I've called out. Ephraim, tell him how many people I predicted Man United would sign before they signed them. You know, this Ephraim, I'll tell him, Ephraim, I am the good in the know, mate. You know, and that's disrespectful to the channel, Zaid. And I think I won't read your comments anymore, mate. Sorry, bruv. JDC, Krupi is a serious baller. He is the next Elise, in my opinion. I agree, JDC. Yeah, another great French player. Well, Elise is English, but anyway, you know. I do tweet it, Zaid, but I don't pay journalists to retweet. That's why. Statements aren't made by big signings. They are made by challenging in the last decade. Zaid, you don't need to tell me I'm a successful person retired in Abu Dhabi, brother. I don't need to beg. LSC and Arsenal made decent signings, but nothing that rocked the market. They are simply improved and challenged. Statements aren't made big signings. Statements aren't made by big signings. They are made by challenging. Yes, in the last decade, LFC and Arsenal made decent signings, but nothing that rocked the market. Exactly, because Hassan, yes, no one knew really who Gabriel and Saliba was. Obviously, you know, people knew they were talented and that, but no one would have thought that they would go on to the level that they become. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're after Krupi, bruv. They're willing to pay the money as well. But that's not a guarantee. He's not signed for Tottenham, but they're in for him. I'm saying, imagine if they did sign him. Then we'll be on a different ball game, guys. Because they already signed Van Heck. Remember that. He's a good defender, you know. You know, they've already got Van der Ven. They got Romero. They got Porro. They got Tonali. They got Mateus Fernandez. They got Bergval. They got, you know, and if they sign Krupi as well, guys, can you honestly sit here and say that we're better than them next season? You know, and that's what I'm looking at, and that's my biggest annoyance. And they're not finished yet. And this is the whole thing. They're not finished. They're going to sign a new goalkeeper as well. So it doesn't really matter. If you've got a good team in front of you, I don't think it really matters. Barcelona always had a poor goalkeeper, right? And they still won things. If you've got a good goalkeeper, nobody's saying they're not winning the league, but they're going to take the Champions League spot at this rate. you know? Kingsley's not as bad as Anana, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, and by in there. This game is almost done, guys. It's 2-0 to Switzerland. I don't think this game is very competitive. What do you think? Shaka's on the floor. Zayed, trust me, bruv, FC. I don't deal with trust me, bruvs. We're not going to get Champions League with Mainu and Edison. Sorry. It's impossible. Atalanta can't even do it, and a weak league with Edison. You know, the Premier League is tenfold better than Serie A. Serie A is not even the best top 3 now anymore. It's not even the top 5 in the best leagues in Europe. So, nah, not as we stand right now. 2026. What's the date today? The 3rd of July. Man United are not getting Champions League football. One of our saviors last season was Casemiro. You know, Hassan, Spurs have always shown an element of ambition. Remember when they signed Dimitrescu and Klinsmann and these big players, Berbatov and players like that? They've always shown that. But this summer, I've not seen Spurs go in so hard like this for 20, 30 years. They are going in. They mean business. And so fair play to them. Fair play to them. They've been embarrassed by Arsenal, right? So they're looking at it in their point of view and thinking that we want to challenge, you know, at the end of the day. Alex Scott's a good player, Ritual, and so is Kimmich is old. You want Kimmich, he's old, mate. Tchouaméni, we're talking about Tchouaméni every single day, mate. Every single day we talk about Tchouaméni on this channel. Every single day. You know, maybe learn about football a little bit before you start talking about Alex Scott and that. They're very good players. Alex Scott got Bournemouth to the Europa League. Right? He was one of their best players, mate. Alex Scott is not shit. You know, he's not shit. Right? And I think that's wrong. Yeah, we like Tchouaméni. We love Tchouaméni. We love Camavinga. We ain't stopped talking about them, bro. Maybe listen a little bit more. But don't slander players because you have this favorite fetish for certain players. Alex Scott is a good player. Lewis Hall's a good player. Just because they play for Newcastle. Learn about what Man United are. Learn about where we got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer from. Learn where we got Dwight York from. Learn where we got all these players. Learn Cantona. Learn where we got Roy Keane from. Because we certainly didn't get him from Barcelona. And we certainly didn't get him from Bayern Munich. Right? So football doesn't work like that. This is nothing to do with the owners. These are good players that we should buy. This has nothing to do with the owners. Right? We are calling out Tchouaméni every single day. Every day. I was the one who broke Tchouaméni. I was the first one talking about Tchouaméni before you knew about him. I was the first one on Stretford Post. We're going to sign Tchouaméni. We've got an opportunity to sign Tchouaméni. And people are like, we're never going to sign Tchouaméni. I said, there's a problem going on at Real Madrid. Lo and behold, something happens. So let's not talk less of that. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Thank you. Thank you, Ephraim. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He knows. He was there. Ephraim was there. Everything I was saying, I said, watch what's going to happen. Owa Bawadi. Who? Owa Bawadi. Who? Patrick Dorgu. Who? Patrick Dorgu. Who? Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about that then. Yeah. Like, you know, and people just underrated. Look, I don't rate players based on the club they play for at the end of the day. You know, I don't do that. I can have my opinion about a player, but I'm not going to say he's shit because he played for them. Guys, When did we ever buy players from Real Madrid and Bayern Munich and that throughout Alex Ferguson's period? When did we ever buy players from those big clubs? We didn't, did we? This is nothing to do with the Glazers. If you have to downplay a good player like Alex Scott to try and justify your point, it's not a good point because Alex Scott's a good midfielder. But we should sign Alex Scott. But we should also sign Tchouaméni. You know, we should also sign Tchouaméni. Sal, what you beating on Somerville then? Somerville is wanted by Manchester United. Yes, he's wanted by Man United. Man United. I'm going to talk about it in my next video. But join me. You know, join me for breaking down. I'll tell you later on because I'm going to clarify something from Man United. But again, what I would say, in my opinion, not a priority. We ain't got a flipping midfield, and we're after attacking left wingers. Crying out loud. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Zayed, Liverpool won the league before spending 500 million. Yeah. But what my point is, just because they play for Newcastle, just because they play for Stoke, it doesn't mean they're not good players. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. We bought Andy Cole from Newcastle. Was a legend. One of the greatest strikers, in my opinion. Yeah, and where did Salah come from? Nobody rated Salah before he went to Liverpool. You know, nobody rated Salah. People calling Salah a Roma, average Roma player, flop. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Ritual, Juventus, no. We had Pogba before Juventus anyway. Now go on. Let's go on. Let's talk about Keane. Let's talk about Irwin. Let's talk about Rooney, who were at Everton. All right, let's talk about these players. Come on. Let's talk about Rio Ferdinand. Let's talk about them. Ritual, you're dealing with a proper Man United fan, not a fabricated one like yourself, mate. You don't really have a ball knowledge, mate. So please, sit this one out, brother. Right, if you're saying we shouldn't sign anyone for Newcastle because they play for Newcastle, then that just proves to me that you're not really savvy on ball. With all due respect, thank you for being here, but nah, mate. I'm not going to read that. We signed him from Arsenal. We're buying isolated incidents there when Alex Ferguson in his latter years, right? But our greatest ever players, like Cantona, did not play for the biggest clubs in Europe, right? Did Cristiano Ronaldo play for the biggest club in Europe? No, he didn't. You know? Did Cantona? No, he didn't. Right? Did Rio Ferdinand? No, he didn't. Did Irwin? No, he didn't. Did Paul Ince? West Ham? No, he didn't. Should we go on? No. Roy Keane, Nottingham Forest, relegated. Did he play for the best club in the world? No, he didn't. I'm talking about our greatest ever players. Van Persie, with all due respect, and Pogba were shit. Van Persie did well for a season, but Pogba's never done well at Man United. So that contradicts your argument there. Pogba was shit. That's it. Pogba was shit. That's it. So there's your argument contradicted. Alex Scott is the only one you had to pluck out is a contradiction. Alex Scott is a damn good versatile player, so let's not kid ourselves. He can play number 8 and a 10 and a 6 when needed. With right direction and coaching, he can be forced to reckon with. Exactly, brother. Exactly, Hassan. I don't slander good players just to add weight onto the players I like, because there are a few good players in Europe right now that I like. I like Manzambi. 3-0. No, he's missed. Wow. He missed. There's loads of players, but I don't slander players just to add weight to my narrative. But yeah, I have to dumb down sometimes for some comments, mate. Honest to God. Pogba was a flop at Man United, so he's a waste of money. There you go. Andy Mitten is another puppet. Zayed, to be honest with you, Zayed, my good brother, Andy Mitten is a puppet, mate. Sorry. Andy Mitten got famous for selling a fanzine outside Old Trafford. Seen him many, many times. Bought a couple of fanzines from him, you know? And unfortunately, he's turned into a puppet. Because players come from small teams doesn't make doesn't teams, the team does not mean they are not good enough yet. Sal, Beef Bully, bonus Sal, do you think England can win the World Cup? Yes. Will they win the World Cup? No, but they can, yeah, if they get it right. Anyone can, if they get it right. Hassan, no disrespect, but what are the Algerians doing? They're making us Pakistanis look incompetent. Not quite. The problem, let me say, Hassan, the problem, I said it at the beginning of the game, the problem with Algeria and Tunisia in particular is temperament, in-game management, how to negotiate a game. Morocco have learned how to do that. But yeah, Algeria embarrassing. So are Tunisia embarrassing. Morocco have learned how to play European continental football. There's a reason he got a Barada interview. Yeah. Yes, I think, yeah, absolutely, yeah. These people are cancers to the football club. They act like they're the face of the football club, but they're cancers to the football club. I'm the future of the football club, and other people are the future of the football club. Mark Goldbridge has said more truth about this football club in the last 3 months than Andy Mitten has said in years. Right? And I don't live up the backside of Andy Mitten and people like that. I don't care. He's just a middle-aged prat that just backs Ineos blindly, and people think you have to worship these guys because they've been going to Man United for so long. You have to worship these guys. It's a clownerism, mate. People change. People look after their own benefit. All these people want those big interviews, so they will sacrifice their opinion for interviews. I've been offered to shut up. I've been offered things to shut up. I've been offered it. I won't. Paul Pogba had quality to be the best midfielder. His attitude was a problem, and the United culture feigned his bad habits. Actually, no, because he had those bad habits when Alex Ferguson was there. That's why Alex Ferguson got rid of him, and his agent didn't like him. He had a bad attitude then, so he was not a good signing. So that just goes to show you and doubles down on the fact that, just because you sign a player from a big club doesn't necessarily make them a successful football player, and a big good signing. Because Real Madrid's most successful period wasn't going out buying Galacticos players. It was going out and buying, players on the upcome. Tchouaméni and Camavinga were players on the upcome. They weren't players that were traditional, great players. When Real Madrid signed them, they were on the upcome, and they were going to be good potential, a bit like Bawadi. Good potential, good potential. When the Gaussman are getting the sack, where do you think he will go off to next? Don't know, mate. I really don't. At this moment in time, I think he'd probably take a time out. I'm very disappointed in him, if I'm being honest. Yeah, really did, didn't he? The proof's in the pudding, isn't it? They're all on this Ineos train, mate. They're all on this Ineos bandwagon, bro. And this is the thing, isn't it? At the end of the day. Always look at Paul Pogba, Rashford, Walcott, etc. And I think amazing potential squandered by multiple reasons. A bit sad, really. You can Ravel Morrison. There's players out there that were really good. Ravel Morrison apparently was the best academy player anyone's ever seen at Man United in the last 50 years, but didn't reach his potential. That is a part of talent. Attitude, personality is also talent. It's a talent. You know that, to get up in the morning, to train hard, to be on time every day, to show professionalism is a talent. It's not just about what you do on the pitch and your skill. It's a talent. And it proof that it doesn't matter. You can have a player who plays in Argentina for, River Plate. And he could be the best midfielder in the world that we don't know about, has the perfect attitude. The best players in the world that I've ever seen, it's the attitude. It's the attitude. I don't think that Ji-sung Park, right? Another one who we didn't sign from a massive club. I don't think that Ji-sung Park is a tiki-taka baller, you know? But what did Ji-sung Park have? Ji-sung Park had the right attitude, the right personality, the work ethic. That's also a talent. That's what people don't understand. And it doesn't matter if you play for Barcelona or you play for Everton. It doesn't matter. Rooney had the right attitude when he came to Man. Rooney had the attitude for a Man United player. He was at Everton. Right? That's what I'm talking about. He had the right attitude. Yeah, but if you need players around you to make yourself look good, it's not really a good thing on you, is it, JDC? You know, Zidane didn't need people around him to look good. Cantona didn't need people around him to look good. If you need people like Pirlo to make you look good, then you're not really good. Because great players shine. Hristo Stoichkov shined in a very poor Bulgaria side. Georgi Hagi shined in an average Romania side. Great players shine regardless who's around them. And that's why Alex Ferguson got rid of him. And Alex Ferguson's a genius. He didn't get rid of youth players. Alex Ferguson did not get rid of youth players. But the ones he got rid of, he done it for a reason. And that was proven when he went to Man United. Paul Pogba, unlock Paul Pogba. I remember it all the time. Unlock him, unlock him, unlock him, unlock him. Never unlocked, mate. That lock is ajar, mate. You know, and it's never going to be like at the end of the day. And as a guy who's seen Roy Keane, who probably doesn't have the skill that Pogba has, but a damn right better player all round, attitude, everything. Wrong signing. And also Serie A, meh. When's the last Serie A? When's the last time Juventus won? When's the last time Serie A team? Atalanta was the last Serie A team to actually do something in Europe in the last 20 years. Almost. And Inter Milan. Inter Milan was the last real team to win the Champions League. How long ago was that? You know? Yeah. Big up everyone in the stream, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. This game is almost over. What a waste of time. This Austria winning, Switzerland winning by 2-0. Algeria have not done themselves any sort of justice whatsoever. They've been absolutely, in my opinion, they've been absolutely diabolical, guys. In my opinion, they've been diabolical. Yeah, 6 minutes of injury time, just put them out their misery. 6 minutes of injury time. Big up on the stream. Bring a Rashford back will be a bad decision. Yes, Ephraim, it will be. It's not, and again, it's not about his talent. Look at him for England the other day. He had a sulk and he didn't play well for England because he had a sulk. He didn't get his way. You see, attitude. You know? Immense talent without work and destructive little talent with no work can sustain the duress. Exactly. Hassan, great quote. They were good. They weren't good enough, mate, because they didn't win it, did they? Who cares? I don't care. It weren't good enough, mate, for Man United. Simple as that. If you have to be carried it by Pirlo, then you're not a good player, mate. Simple as. You have to be carried by Kante at France, then you're not a good player. Simple as that. Kenny, Pogba was more consistent in the changing his hairstyle and performing currently on the pitch. Thank you very much, Kenny. Average. This is the problem. This is why football's regressed, because we rate people that are crap. Simple. What's he done since leaving Juventus, Man United, by the way, and that? What's he done? Can't even play for Monaco, for fuck's sake. You got Ronaldo at 41 scoring goals in the World Cup. What a flop, mate. Generational flop. They lose to Madrid and Barcelona, but we're not talking about Juventus as a football club. Right? We're talking about Pogba. Maybe if they didn't have Pogba, they might have won. Who knows? You know? There you go. But one thing I'll say, Alessandro Pirlo is a legend. We all know that, you know. Beef, man, I don't know whether you have some next keyboard, brother. You have this next keyboard. I don't know what it is, man, but your spelling is like flipping hell. It's like a conundrum, bruv. When I read your spelling, bro, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, what? It's like, bloody, riddle me this, riddle me that. You know what I mean? It's like, my goodness me. You know? I don't get that, mate. We is this these phase, Pogba. A great man once said, we is he these phase, Pogba. Put that on a plaque and sell it. Put that on a plaque and sell it. Typing out Indicator. Indicator's Ornstein on the cover. You do know that. Where's Pogba now in the hairdressers? He's getting his hair done. I need to get my hair done. Thank you very much for reminding me, by the way. I need to get my hair done. I'll probably get it done today. I need to go. I'm traveling at the weekend, so I'll probably get it done today. You know, that's what it is. I'll probably get it done today. I'm traveling at that weekend, so, you know. Why don't we get Anderson? Because he played for a small club called Nottingham Forest, isn't it, Ritual? let's feed into your narrative. Pogba got banned for some time due to medicine and just came this season. Pogba's shit, JDC. Just give it up, mate. He's crap, mate. I don't care if he got banned. He knew what he was doing. Give it up, man. He's crap. He's overrated now, and just forget about him. He's a flop. A Man United flop, not once, but twice. Who does that? Nah, no thank you, mate. I'm all right, man. Bless him. Good for it, but nah. This is not the Pogba show. Not interested, mate. Flopped. Hold it. Leave it. No excuses. That's it. Kane, success. Play football. Attitude. Good. Good player. Pogba, not good player. Bad player. Man United, bad player. Do I have to speak like this? Shall I draw a picture? Shall I draw a picture? Sometimes I think Pogba family ruined his career, and Alex saw that as coming a mile away. I mean, kidnapping, extortion, well, yeah, and hyenas and all this nonsense. Can we just stick to football? Do you know what I mean? And he wasn't good enough for Man United. Alex Ferguson would have kept him. Alex Ferguson was the king at judging talent. The king, class of 92. The king. He would not have got rid of him. You know? You know? There's no hate, Ritual. Let's not put hate. I don't hate any player. Just some players are good enough, some players are not good enough. It's as simple as that. Right? Some players are good enough, some players are not. It's not about hating someone or disliking him. Fair play to them. Good luck to them. We're human beings. Okay? One thing I would say is that some players are good enough to play for Man United. Some players are not good enough to play for Man United. And one thing I say, I've been supporting this club since the late 80s. I've seen every player you need to see. Great player you need to see at Man United. I will tell you the truth. What's a good player and what's not a good player. Right? Through experience. Right? And it's not about, you know, Baleba. Baleba's not good enough to play for Man United. Baleba has a week. You know. Full time. Congratulations to Switzerland. Switzerland go through to the next round. Very poor game, guys, but they are going through the next round. Goodbye and commiserations to Algeria, guys. They are out, guys. Guys, we can carry on this conversation in about an hour. I will be back for Breaking Dawn. Join me for that, guys. We got lots of things coming up. I've got to make a couple of phone calls, guys. I've got to make a couple of phone calls, and then we're going to go from there, guys. So thank you, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Smash a like on the video way out, guys. And I'll see you in a bit, guys. Take it easy. Peace.